Imagine Apple asks you to create a text animation for the new iPhone. Well, it will probably look something like this. I saw the reel of matvoyce on Instagram and I was like, I should create something like this too. So I'm going to show you exactly how to create this text animation and you can apply this everywhere. Now let's jump into it. I'm here in After Effects and I'm first going to create a new composition. 4K 25 frames per second is fine. Let's press OK. Then I'm going to import a video. And I do this by double clicking here and I'm going to import this video. Press open. And by the way, link to this video is also in the description. Let's drag this in. And we have this cool video already. Let's move a bit further. And as you can see, there's already text. And the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that this text is gone. Now there's multiple ways to do this. We can do a manual mask by just using the pen tool, or I can also use the rotor brush tool. For now, I'm going to do the rotor brush tool. So I click on the rotor brush tool, double click on the footage, and then let's go a bit to the front. Let's start around here. And then I'm just going to draw what I want to include. And then it will also give this error. As you can see, frame rate mismatch. Basically what I want to do is change the frame rate. So let's go to composition settings. Let's change the frame rate to 30 frames per second. Press OK. So it's matching this footage. Now I also want to change the quality here to full because it will make it easier for the rotor brush tool. Now let's draw a nice line here and let's see if it will get the iPhone. There we go. This doesn't have to be perfect as long as the top is fine, because I will just duplicate the bottom anyway. This is nice. Let's drag this work area to the left or from the left to the right. And why I'm doing this, so it doesn't have to look at the other frames. I just want it from here. And then let's see how far it needs to go. Let's see if it still is fine later on. I think it is. I think it's perfect. So let's make this window a bit bigger. So we find the freeze button. Freeze. And let's click on this. And then let's see how long it will take. This is already quite a cool look, right? With the black and white. Perfect. And once it's done, as you can see in the left, it will update. We can now close this window. And I'm going to duplicate this footage by just hitting Command D or Control D on Windows. And it will duplicate. Let's go to the bottom one. And let's delete the rotor brush. So we have our footage back. And then I'm just going to get a rectangle tool and draw a rough rectangle to around here to bring back the bottom footage. Now, if I'm going to change the quality to quarter and play this back quickly, as you can see, we have our iPhone. Here it still looks a bit rough. I think if we change it to full, it should be fine, but we can always go into the footage and then change the feather it a bit more. That will make it a bit more smooth. Or we can also change the shift edge, reduce chatter, not to confuse with reduce chatter. Let's change this to 40, maybe 49. Just need to see if the text is in here. This is perfect. I really like it. We can even link them to each other, so they're a bit easy to control. You can now just grab the bottom one, go to the selection tool and like move it around, like move it maybe a bit more to the bottom. And now, of course, we want the text back. We just did all this thing to remove the text to bring it back. And that is for a good reason, because we want to animate the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this footage one more time. Again, Command D, Control D on Windows, remove the rotor brush so the text is back. So we can now remake this text. And let's start with the top text. So I'm just going to go to the text tool and let's type in iPhone 17. Then select your footage and use the San Francisco font. Link to this will be in the description. And maybe I'm going to also make it a bit bigger, just so it matches it. Go to the selection tool. Let's move this. We need to make it a bit more bigger. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's totally fine if it's not exactly the same. We do want the same color, so I'm just going to use the color pick tool and click on that. There's also a bit of grain on it, not animated though. So we can add a film grain or noise. Let's see. Let's use the add grain and let's drag that to our text. Change the viewing mode to final output. Intensity, probably something like 2. That works. We can go to the color and change it to monochromatic. So we don't have the color grain in it. And then go to the animation and set the animation speed to 0. Basically what it will make sure that it won't animate. Unless you want it animated, but in this case, it doesn't need to be animated. We'll just add a bit of texture to it. You can dial it down by changing the softness or the size. Or of course, the intensity, we can turn that maybe to 1.5 or something. Just needs to be a tiny bit. Now I'm just going to duplicate this text, Command D, Control D on Windows. And let's drag this down. And now we need the font Korataki. I hope I say this right. Again, link of this will also be in the description. And we can change this to Korataki regular. Let's try a bold or maybe even extra bold. And as you can see, we already have this text. Now I'm going to just go to the text tool and change this to the word bro in all capitals. Let's make this really big, maybe something like 540 pixels. Then we even want to stretch it. Normally I'm never stretching my text, but this text need to be stretched. Also, what I want to say is that this won't be exactly the same. I'm quite sure they made a custom version, but it will get really close to this. We can just change the tracking of this, meaning that we want to put them really close to each other. We can just quickly move it to the top to see what that will look like. And this should do. Now, as you can see, there's also a nice gradient in this text. Now we're going to add a 4-color gradient. Let's drag that on to our text. Make sure this is above our grain, because otherwise it won't work properly. By the way, this looks already quite cool, right? With the green. However, now we're going to change the colors. What I want to do is basically change it from the left. So we want to start with this color. Then color 2 might be something in the middle. Then color 3 is also something here. And then color 4 is the darker color, or the darker orange. Now, the only thing we want to do is align these colors. As you can see, these points are everywhere. I'm just going to click on this cursor thingy. I don't know how to describe this, right? But let's click on that and let's start on the left, and let's do the same with the next one, and same with the third one. And lastly, the fourth. May the fourth be with you. There we go. As you can see, we're getting really close to what we want. Now, the downside of this 4-color gradient is that it's not linked to the layer, so we might have to adjust it a bit. There are ways to link it to the layer with expressions, but we're not going to do that for now. And once we move it down, you can also see that it should be fine because the points are still on the same points. If you want to adjust them, you can just move them down. Now let's turn off the layer real quick that we created, the top layer, so we can see our own end result. And to be honest, this already looks really cool, right? Let's select both text layers. I do this by holding Shift and then clicking on both of them. And then let's align them. So I'm going to go to my align window and let's go to composition and center it to make sure it's fully centered. And that looks really cool. I like it. Now we're going to go to the juicy part, and that is stretching the text. Now, to stretch this text, unfortunately, we need to change it into shapes. This also means that we can't adjust anything after this. So if you want to change this to a different text because you're using this for a client, make sure the text is right. Anyway, I'm happy with my Pro. So I'm going to right click, go to create shapes from text. And you will have these beautiful shapes. We can now open this and we can go into the contents and we can see our letters here. And now the cool thing is that we can go into these paths. And for example, I can select the P, I can set a keyframe for the path, and I can stretch it out. Now, to do this well, I want to make sure that basically all the layers are going to be aligned well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to parent this text to our bottom layer. I'm going to turn off the iPhone 17 text just for now. And I'm going to go and click on this bottom layer, press P for position, and move this down. And I do this so we have some room to play with. As you can see, now we have some nice big room above it. I can go a bit further in our timeline. I can go into this path that we just created a keyframe for. And by the way, if you didn't see this anymore, you can press U on your keyboard. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to View, Show Rulers, and then I'm going to make a ruler. And I do this by just clicking on the top ruler and then just dragging that down. And let's do this around here. Let's go back into our P from the path, and then we can zoom in and let's select these points. Make sure you select just these top points, and then we can hold Shift and drag this up. We can also, for example, keep this middle block in the center. I'm just going to hit Command C, Control Z on Windows, and then just select these top points and then drag it up if you hold Shift. Or we can also select all of these points except the bottom one and then drag it up. Let your creativity flow. Now, the cool thing is what we can also do is once we undo this, and I'm just going to go to our first keyframe that we set. And if we then open the P, set a keyframe for that, open both the R and set a keyframe for these paths, and then lastly also for the O, open the O's and set a keyframe for that too. We can also just go a bit further and now select multiple paths, so we can do them all at once and then just dragging them up. Now, as you can see, it will look a bit weird with the O, so we might have to adjust it a bit. Again, you can also first select one and then do it in parts, because since we also have the ruler, that works really nicely if you just hold Shift and it just snaps into place on the ruler. So let's do the P first, and then let's see if we can do the R, and then let's do the O. And I want to keep the center point there in the bottom, or maybe just this top part like this. See what that looks like. This is really dope. I think this is really cool. Now you can even animate this this center part, for example. We can even go into the O and make sure we just have the center part. And then, for example, what we can do is just select this, and then we can double click on that, and then you will get this selection window. And then we can, for example, like make it a bit smaller. We can also hold Command or Control on Windows, and then we can like scale it to the center. So what happens now if we go through this, it will stretch, but it will also get thinner, as you can see. Now, of course, all these keyframes are really harsh. We want to easy ease them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press U on my keyboard to just see our keyframes, then select them all, right click, keyframe assistant, and then easy ease. Now we can add some motion blur to this. We can go into this graph editor, and we can even select all of these keyframes and basically make them even more eased by selecting them and easing them. Now what I also want to do is make sure that all of these layers at the bottom, they're a bit longer so it doesn't cut off here. And I do that by just hitting right click, time, enable time remapping. And once you do that, we can just drag these layers out. Now what you might notice is that our rotor brush stops working. There's multiple ways around this. We can either mask this or we can pre-compose it. I'm just going to create a quick mask to get rid of the text below it. So I'm going to click on the rectangle and then just select the top part, just the text. Trust me, this will all make sense. Then we can change the mask to subtract and then open the mask and keyframe the mask. Then I'm going to go one frame before this by holding Command and then left arrow, Control and left arrow on Windows. And then let's go to the selection tool, double click on the mask and move this out of frame. And I do this just so this mask is not utilized throughout the animation. And as you can see, if we now go a bit further, it will just stay the same. It's exactly what we want. Now what I want to do is move this text below this iPhone. Then I'm going to go to Layer, New, Solid, and I'm just going to create a black solid. Press OK. Press OK. Then let's go to the rectangle tool and just create a simple rectangle, something like this. Press F for feather and feather this a lot. And I'm talking about probably like 1500. Now you know what? Keep it on 1000. So we have like a nice fade. And let's move this below the iPhone. And as you can see, we don't see our text anymore now. But if you now press P for position and we move this mask down, we can make this really nice animation by having this text fade in really softly. Which is exactly what I want. So I'm just going to set a keyframe here. And once this is around here, I'm going to move this down. There we go. I'm also going to link this to this bottom layer. And of course, easy ease these keyframes that are nice and smooth. Let's quickly play this. As you can see, we have some weird things popping through because of our rotoscope. That just means that our layer at the bottom needs to be moved up. Let's move it up. There we go. We don't have that issue anymore. So if you now play it, as you can see, we'll have this really smooth animation of this pro text. And we still have the iPhone text. Let's move this down, hold shift to keep it in the center. Maybe I'm just going to fade this text in. Maybe just press T for transparency, set a keyframe and let it go from 0% to 100%. And then around here, I'm just going to fade that text out again. Something like this. Now let's press U on our shapes and let's drag these keyframes out because they're going way too quick. So we have something like this, iPhone 70 Pro, and then really dope. Now I also want to animate the whole thing anyway. Let's link the iPhone 17 also to this footage. So everything is linked to layer 5, right? We can now hit P for position, set a keyframe, and let's drag this out. And then I want to center it a bit more. So it's more like in the center, something like here. Now, of course, I want to easy ease this. I might even move it so it like only moves down once this text moves up. So let's hit F9 on our keyboard like always. Maybe even move this a bit. I still think our animation goes a bit too quick, so maybe we have to drag this out. We can also select these keyframes, go into the graph editor, select these last keyframes, and then just making sure our graph is a bit less heavy. Maybe I did overdo it a bit, so it's just a bit more smooth. I think this fits the animation better. And as you can see, we have this really cool animation. Now, once you did all of this, you should get something like this. And you can use this text stretch effect in all of your projects. Now, if you want the project file, learn how to make money with editing, and also get results with your edits, then do join the Fullstack Editor Club. Link is in the description. There's tons more, and I even have a temporary money back guarantee, so do check that out. Then, of course, don't forget to subscribe. And I want to thank you for watching and all of the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.